the first kind of quick win I'm going to talk about really is automating more of your manual processes. And I think there's in any kind of technology implementation that we've done, you get to the point where you're trying to implement a system across a kind of wide scope of the business, and it's not always possible to do that. You have to make compromises. Things have to be done quicker or for less budget, or you have to kind of manage the scope and so on. So I think there's always things that kind of fall by the wayside that people don't have time to automate, and kind of want to come back to at a later time. I mean, they tend to be they don't tend to be the low-hanging fruit, really. They tend to be the ones that maybe don't save you the most money, or maybe don't contribute the most revenue, or aren't the sexy kind of new products that are going to kind of take you forward as a business or whatever. So, but there tends to be a kind of a large list of those in many businesses. And I think one of the first things that we recommend really is that businesses kind of draw up a kind of 2B as to what they think the business should look like in the future. And I think typically in a consulting process, people will work out what they call an as-is, which documents the business now and explains how the business operates. And then the second part really is to kind of work out what the 2B is, whether it's a new website, new processes, getting rid of a product department and outsourcing that or whatever. So really looking at how they can automate the business going forward. There's a few ideas here on kind of product management, rules and special offers, confirmations, creating price updates and so on. And all those things, in my experience, when you look at most businesses, they've got small teams of people who take those processes and do them manually. For whatever reason, they take out things into spreadsheets and then put them back in later. So it tends to be that those things which are quite critical, they're quite hard to automate. That's often the reason why that happens. And I think one of the first things to look at in quick wins really is what is that low-hanging fruit? What are the things that maybe there's 1-2 people in the business that's doing those kind of manual repetitive tasks, probably complex tasks, so you can look and see whether the software you've got actually automates that and whether it can do something for you. So I think that's a key thing. I mean obviously the top point is really key. I mean, the more cost you can take out of the business, the more profitable they're going to be. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, you can grow your top line, grow your revenue line, and obviously everyone tries to do that. But the kind of one of the keys to having a successful, profitable business is to make sure you focus on your costs. Really, if you focus on your costs, then you can ride if your revenue doesn't achieve the kind of heights that you put down in your projections and that you'd like to achieve. But at least you've got some nimbleness really in the profitability going forward. So I think all these things really are about how do you take cost out of the business, how do you automate things that will ultimately drive the profitability.